The story begins with Robert Kiyosaki. Growing up, he's always had two perspectives on wealth. On one hand, his father, Poor Dad, always preached going to school, getting a higher education, and playing it safe. His poor dad always talked about wanting to do things with money while never having it, struggling, and always saying phrases like "I" or "we can't afford that," which led Robert to be fascinated about wanting more money, which led him to talking to his friend's father, which we will call Rich Dad. Rich Dad always taught him that learning was the most vital building blocks to the foundation of wealth. Instead of saying, "I can't afford it," Rich Dad always told Robert and his friend to ask themselves, "How can I afford it?" As a result, this teaches them to think. Being broke is a mindset. It's temporary, and you can choose to change your future by thinking positively and removing the victim mentality. Success is in your hands, and nobody else can do it for you. Money is a means to an end, not the end. You should make money to live, not live to make money. Don't follow the crowd or take the easiest path. Think for yourself and make your decisions, as our lives are unique individual experiences, and what works for one person may not work for the other. So think twice before you listen to all those YouTube financial gurus. Manifesting is real, and you should fake it till you make it. School doesn't teach you about money, and financial education is important. You are the average of the people you hang around with. Keep an open mind, and if the people are talking about subjects they have no experience with, just take it with a grain of salt. All of these tips is to help get you into a growth mindset, to not be afraid of money, and make sure you strive for an abundance of it. Which leads us to lesson 1. The rich don't work for money. Have money work for you. Time is one of your greatest assets, which is why so many people say time is money. An important skill to learn is to make quick decisions so you don't have to waste time. This goes hand in hand with learning, as the quicker you make decisions, the more you experience things. You learn to fail quickly to figure out what you need to do next. Life is the best teacher. Living life on easy mode means you won't learn, and if you don't learn, you don't level up, so welcome life's challenges. The younger you are, the more risks you should take, as you have more time to recover, so don't give in to fear and play it safe. The only constant in your life is you. So shape yourself into a life you want to live and stop blaming others. It's a lot harder to change people. Value is important. In business, they call it utility. When you buy things for short-term happiness, like that $5 or $6 coffee, are you only getting a short-term gain? Probably. So think twice about most things you buy, especially daily purchases. Accept that money is a part of life. Don't be afraid of it. Accept it and acknowledge it, just like your feelings. Be an observer, not a reactor. Think long term. While you have a small skill set, trade your time for money and use that money to fund ventures and skills to help make you learn and earn more money. A job is only a short-term solution to a long-term problem. Instead of thinking, is there another way? People work hard and go to a job they hate out of fear not being able to pay their bills, which causes them to be emotionally controlled. Money is an illusion. The only reason why money means anything is because we give it value. Most of the money that exists in the world literally isn't even real, especially with the rate money is being printed nowadays. When you work for money, you tunnel vision instead of figuring out what you can do and find opportunities that will help you in the long term. Lesson 2. Why teach financial literacy? It's not about how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. So many times throughout history, lottery winners win millions and billions just to go broke within the next couple years, back in the same position where they started. Therefore, education is important. Learn more, be flexible, and adaptable when times change. As a result, you will be able to find new opportunities and think and grow rich both financially and mentally. Get rich quick is not real. Only by absurd luck will things go exactly your way, so you might as well create your own luck instead of wasting your time. Learn the difference between assets and liabilities. This is the absolute #1 rule you should remember in this video if you forget everything else. An asset puts money in your pocket, a liability takes money out of your pocket. Having money is not going to solve all your problems. It's only a temporary solution to some things. Having more money only accentuates your problems and who you are as a person. So if you're already bad with money, then you'll probably become even worse. Live frugally and don't be keeping up with the latest and newest tech and cars. They're all liabilities. Instead, buy assets which you can then use to fund the lifestyle you want to live. Buy luxury items and live a fun-filled life. Intelligent people hire and work with other people who are more intelligent than they are. Don't buy a house too early before building your asset portfolio. you might have to end up dishing out more money for unexpected repairs, property taxes, and a lot more. Wealth is when your assets are greater than your expenses, so make sure you build your assets first, not the other way around. 3 principles include: the rich buy assets, the poor only have expenses, the middle class buy liabilities that they think are assets. Lesson 3. Mind your own business. The rich focus on their asset columns while everyone else focuses on their income statements. This is something I'm definitely guilty of. Every time my paycheck rolls around, I put away 60 to 70% towards investing and savings already. However, when I open my bank account, I see a lot of money going out for rent, food, and gas, which are things I really need to live. However, this just tells me I'm on the right path and I need to have more confidence and keep building my assets up and live my life normally. That way, I don't sacrifice my mental while growing my wealth. Start something yourself, don't compare yourself to others, just mind your own business and learn. Keep your daytime job, buy real assets, not assets such as that new car that loses nearly 25% of its value the moment you drive it off the lot. Examples of assets include businesses that do not require your presence, stocks, bonds, income generating real estate, notes or IOUs, royalties, and anything that has value, produces income, or appreciates and has a ready market. Buy assets you love. That way you can enjoy the process a little bit more and have a little bit more fun. Some of my assets that I really enjoy investing in is stocks, as I get to follow it on the news, as well as collectibles, which I've already sold and made some money off of it. Try to never take money out of your investing or savings. Try to be creative and figure out better ways to earn more money to pay off your bills. That way your wealth can grow consistently. Lesson number 4, taxes. The middle class gets taxed and pays for the poor. The rich people educate themselves on taxes and keep more of their money. We all live and grow on the same playing field, so why not play the same game as the rich? Learn about corporations, their tax rate, things like Section 1031 exchange. Knowledge is power. It's better to hire someone good and expensive like an accountant or attorney than pay more for later when things go south. Financial IQ consists of accounting, investing, understanding markets, and the law. Business owners with corporations earn, spend, then pay taxes. Meanwhile, employees who work for corporations earn, pay taxes, then spend. Lesson 5. The rich invent money. Often in the real world, it's not the smart who get ahead, but the bold. Be more confident towards change. 300 years ago, land was wealth, then factories and production, but now wealth is information. It's ready, available to everyone with the click of a button and just a search. Create your own luck instead of relying on others. Otherwise, you might end up waiting forever. It's not gambling if you know what you're doing. Failure is a part of the process. People who avoid failure also avoid success. Learn to manage risk instead of avoiding it. The investor is the one that pieces together good deals, finds an opportunity that everyone else missed, raises money, and organizes smart people. And all of this ties back to knowledge, which allows you to bring aspects of different sections of your life together in a way that benefits you. Lesson 6. Work to learn, don't work for money. Learn to sell. Don't be afraid to be controversial. Diversify your knowledge. 9-to-5s are just short-term benefit, no long-term gain. You're at the mercy of your employer in the same hamster wheel, living paycheck to paycheck. Learn about every aspect of a business, then you can start your own. Education is more valuable than money in the long run. That's why when people like Mr. Beast say that you can take away everything from them, they can still recreate their success with just the knowledge that they have. Life is like going to the gym. The more important thing is to just start. You're always glad you went. Specialization harms your growth potential. If you lose your job in that industry, your choices diminish and you become screwed. Important management skills for success includes cash flow, systems, and people. Lesson 7. Overcoming obstacles. There are 5 reasons why a financially literate person may still not be able to develop an abundant asset column that could produce a large cash flow, which includes fear, cynicism, laziness, bad habits, and arrogance. To overcome fear, you must start early. Let compound interest work. Winning means being unafraid of losing. Failure should inspire winners. Don't play not to lose, play to win. When you play it safe, you are losing unless you started early to grow that nest egg, which requires time. To overcome cynicism, understand that doubt is inexpensive. Regret and FOMO go hand in hand, so don't be that person and make calculated decisions and come out ahead. Once decisions are made, learn and move on. Jumping on the bandwagon is gambling. To overcome laziness, instead of making excuses like "I can't afford it," ask yourself, "How can I afford it?" Do not feel guilty about your greedy desires and come up with excuses to justify your laziness. A little greed is good, but don't let it get to your head. Invest and save after every paycheck instead of paying your expenses and spending, then saying you have nothing to invest after. Grow your money muscles. Do what needs to be done first, then have fun after. You need to make sure you have discipline. To overcome arrogance, become an eternal student. Learn and educate yourself. Everyone has a financial genius that needs to be awakened. Don't give into that 9-to-5. Use it to build your own financial freedom. This book has been a wonderful, life-changing experience for me ever since I started reading again. I know that I have outlined it today, but I totally recommend reading it on your own so you can grow your own financial eye. It goes on to describe the various nuances of financial literacy, gives wonderful examples, and reads just like a friend is talking to you. So I encourage you to go out today and work on your own path to financial freedom. Your greatest assets are your mind and your time, and today's choices will determine your future. So take everything you learned today here as a guide to go out and conquer the world, and make sure when you start, don't quit. Like and subscribe. Man, I don't know what I'm doing.